Welcome back to Casting Confidential. Today we're bringing you a bonus round taken from a Q&A with our panelists Cheryl Louden-Kubin, Kimberly Skyrme, Robin Carus, and Kimberly Ehrlich that we did for our members. We're doing these along with feedback sessions monthly with our community, and we're loving seeing the actors. Hit the link in show notes to join us, but for now, enjoy this bonus episode. Looking to land your next big role? Casting Networks is where more high quality roles are booked than any other casting service. With an annual membership, you'll unlock every tool you need to stand out. Unlimited headshots and reels, submission tracking, even the chance to link your socials and showcase your personal brand. On the go, the Casting Network's iOS app makes it easy to find and submit to roles anytime, anywhere. Right now, Casting Confidential listeners get $65 off an annual membership. Just use code CONFIDENTIAL at checkout or try it free for 14 days. Head to castingnetworks.com/confidential and get ready to get noticed. But hurry, this offer won't last long. And with that, let's jump right into today's show.
Let's go.
Welcome back to Casting Confidential. Today we have a bonus episode for you with Robin Carus, Cheryl Louden-Kubin, Kimberly Skyrme, and myself, Rose Rosen. I'm the host. So listen, today we are going to talk about best practices for resumes. And I think this is really important. You know, every business has resumes, and actors feel honestly pretty stupefied about what to put on. I myself always have problems with my own resume. So I think let's weigh in. What do you guys think are some of the best and worst practices on resumes?
Well, I can start. I think that keep it simple, keep it very, very reader friendly. So I like, your stats, your contact information. Please, God, put your contact information on your resume, on your profile, on your IMDb so that we can find you. Also, put theater on there. A lot of film and TV people think that, oh, I'm not going to put theater on my resume because people think that that I would be too big. And that couldn't be farther from the truth for me and for the people that I work with. Theater is a great foundation for the practice of acting in general. Not too crazy, and once you and not too much extra work unless that's all you have. And then I think that's my tips.
I
Love that.
I think that in terms of fonts, I think that nothing crazy, a good Times New Roman or Arial. A lot of people like, keep the fonts clean. A lot of people like to go for fancy. No, don't do fancy. Keep your name bold and in center. A lot of people are like, let me put it off to the side or let me make it super small. No, a lot of young people who are starting out that may not have a lot of credits or those who are coming into the profession or coming back to the profession, I think that they forget that the font doesn't have to be like at 36. Keep it at a good 12 or 10. We're good. We're good. We can read it. I promise. And it doesn't mean that you have to extend it if you don't have a lot of credits. Special skills are a great thing, and I think people forget about the power of a good special skill when we're trying to get to know an actor. I think that organization, as Cheryl said, is so key. So that way we scan a lot and we kind of look for something, we kind of look for that for either someone we know or a project we know or roles we can relate to, which is why the format of everything, 3 columns, is so very important. Education and training is also something we want to know that you've studied. We want to know whom you've studied with. It doesn't make a difference if it was at a community college, if it was at extra classes elsewhere, if you took seminars, it doesn't make a difference. But the important thing is we like to know that you're an educated actor.
Well, it's just showing that you do the work, just starting with that education piece. And much like anything, any other sport or activity people do, you do it in repetition. And that's how you become good at it. Nobody takes one class in tennis and then plays tennis every day for the rest of their life and never, takes a lesson again to continue or running or any of it. So you have practice, practice, practice. With everything that everyone else has said is so important, and I know that it's so easy now at home to be able to make fancy resumes with colorful columns, and like you're making a marketing piece that is great for your website or great to showcase all of this design work on Instagram or other places where you're creating a brand. But again, when it's uploaded on the platforms, it's easier for us to just pan and scan all the data that we're used to seeing. And I will double down on the special skills. That could be the thing that is a conversation piece, particularly if we share that information with directors. I find that's usually something directors really grab onto because now they can have a conversation with you about it, which also leads into make sure you're proficient at all of the things that are on your special
That's
skills,
huge.
because you don't want to be caught in a situation where you're not as proficient as you have claimed, because that just will be a little embarrassing for you, and then probably in turn for us as well.
Dangerous.
But
We had
and
somebody-
also, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, we had somebody who put on their resume, can burp on cue. And the director was like, okay, burp.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's it. You
And
got to
you
be
better
able to do it.
let's see it. Yeah.
I had a young man years ago. It's my favorite thing still, where he said he could do a little boy locked in a closet in jar. And we're like, what? And he was like, Daddy, Daddy, I'm in the closet. And then we're like, it was hilarious. We hired him. It was so funny.
Well, I mean,
He
you
had
can
his
you can do
little thing.
these little
But-
things. Those
Yeah,
are great.
to fine tune on that, as you've heard about the font size, you've heard about not too much. Important for it to be highlights. Think of yourself as your own marketing and PR person, and your resume is the tool that you're using. Have the very important roles, but do edit it down so there's breathing room, that there is white space for our eyes to rest when we're reading all of the information. Because ultimately, if you're that compelling and your audition is supporting that, we can now go to IMDb and do a deep dive. You can go to the Broadway database, and that's where we can see a comprehensive work. Your resume should be a highlights reel of what you've done for us to know that this is a solid person with a great foundation in acting.
Oh, these are great.
And
And
people
always
sometimes put paragraphs.
right.
That's like too much. I want to see like bullet points, right?
I
A
love bullet
whole
points.
paragraph of Cheryl was born in a house, and that's just too much. It's overwhelming.
I wanted to say New Orleans, they call the rising sun.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yes. And I was trying to add, always tell the truth. Don't deviate from the truth.
Oh, it
Right.
really
Not
is
one
so
little
important.
bit. Don't tell
It's
me you're
better
an
to
inch
not be
taller
good at
either.
it or have not done the work than to embellish anything, because you will get caught with your pants down for sure.
Yeah. If I'm trying to measure you up against somebody else and I don't want to put you on an apple box, then your height is important. I'm sorry. I'm sorry it is.
I had an actor, and this who really did he helped me out in a pinch. And I had a sick actor, and he was there and present in the event I had an emergency, and said, like, so am I a part of the show? And I said, really good question. And I said, how about this? This is how you could put it on your resume. So you can put it on your resume. And I thought, you know what? That's really respectful. And if you are a part of something but don't know how to phrase it, ask somebody who is, the casting director, who's a part of the production, that really is the one who's hiring you for the job. Like, what do I call this? And it was a swing. It was it was a vacation swing. And when I told this to the person's agent, they said, that was so nice, and so everyone's happy that way. And if you have a question like that, where it's sort of like a vague kind of situation, ask. But I think no harm, no foul. But the lying thing, woof, no.
No, absolutely. Here's a question. I'm a minor, so what's important on their resume if they've only done some background work?
You know what? I think special skills, knowing all the things you can do. Can you read?
Training.
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 Yes. And also, here's the thing too. I think that when it comes to minors, and minors, let's say anyone under the age of 18. So that still means you're very active and mature 17, 16, 15, and 14-year-old that are already thinking independently. And let's face it, every kid has the almighty cell phone, right? But at the same time, it's one of those things where I don't want to be contacting directly your 16-year-old. I really don't. And so the parents' phone and email have to be present on that resume.
Such a
I,
great comment. Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
you're registered with the state for work, the labor laws of wherever you are, I think that's important because inevitably you're going to have to do that if you want to work.
That's right. That's right. And sometimes it's incumbent upon the production, often it is, and also you. So yeah, so know your laws
Yeah.
and make sure you're registered. All right, here's another one. Before all the Zoom classes, it was appropriate to bring a headshot resume to a workshop, or even to a in-person casting session. How should we hand out our materials now?
I think that you can still have it on the ready just because I think it's fine. It really is.
Yeah, but if you're on Zoom,
Oh, if
I
you're on
mean,
Zoom, ask if you can send it. No, why not?
right.
We have the email.
Right, exactly. And generally speaking, if we're already seeing you on Zoom, we have seen your headshot and resume somewhere in the casting platforms, in IMDb. We have seen your stuff. And if we haven't, we will likely ask for it. So, yeah, if you're already going face to face with us in a Zoom, be it in a class, in a casting session, whatever it is, I mean, there's no harm to send it, if you already have that invite, but likely we've seen it already.
And a lot of
So,
talent don't have hard copies of their stuff anymore.
no,
But
no,
I would say, it's not out of the ordinary to go back into the room at some point for a callback
right.
or chemistry read or something like that. So make sure you have a couple hard copies with updated resumes ready to go with you in your car. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, you could easily print, just don't print them by the hundreds. Just don't do that.
Right,
No,
right, right.
Yeah.
not like in the old days where you were definitely printed by the hundreds.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
at
no,
least
we're
to
not
have,
doing that.
yeah, at least to have a few. I do feel that if you were back in the room, that it also is just something nice to leave behind. You've done your homework, you're a professional, and you are leaving something for them to be reminded of you
Yeah.
after you leave. So I do feel that it's really helpful.
I have
Okay.
stacks of pictures and I every now and then if I'm stuck for something or I'm missing something, I just flip through them real quick and go, "Oh, there's one. Let's get him."
Oh my God, I love that. All right. Any last thoughts about favorite things you see on resumes, favorite best practices, anything else that really stands out? Like, do you guys love artwork on a resume? Like some, special drawing? Should they put here, in the realm of artwork? Should your picture be on your resume? I think that's an interesting question. What do you guys think about either of those?
Thumbnails, I- I'm fine with. I think that the thumbnail has to be a different look than what we've seen on the
The
front
resume.
resume. And
Hmm.
so, and again, it's just for a different look. It's fun. It's not to be reminded who you are. We know we've sometimes they're side by side, and so that we don't need. But the size of the thumbnail really should be a thumbnail and not like here's your resume and all of this is your headshot, your quote thumbnail.
Certainly in the old days, I always encouraged that because it was an opportunity that you're not intended to send two headshots to casting, but this way you were given an opportunity in this one flash to get whatever your look was and then show them another look.
Yeah, if you have a black and white 8 by 10 and you happen to have red hair or piercing blue eyes, a nice little thumbnail in color on the back would absolutely benefit you.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, probably you don't want to have that black and white anymore. Probably.
Right.
It'll be the pretty thing for the frame in your house.
No, yeah,
One for grandma
I'm
and the
with the
van
rest
house.
of you guys. I miss a black and white headshot, but yeah, but for a
No,
redhead,
you
I
do.
remember the days, Cheryl, when it's like,
I know you couldn't tell, and
I
then
know.
you would turn it over and you would see. And so that is why it was so important in the old days that eye and hair color was on everything.
Right?
Yeah.
It was,
Because we
yes.
didn't know.
I would be like, oh, redhead, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Or we'd look at their freckles and think, I wonder if they're redhead.
Turn it over. Oh, look, they are. No surprise.
Yeah. Yeah. The big news, folks. If you're redheaded, just get in the acting business because we love redheads.
So few. I know.
So few, and somehow you all stand out, and we want to give you a chance because you do color the scene, and maybe that's
Love the
bad, but I
gingers.
think it's great. Yes.
Love the gingers.
Yes, love the gingers. Okay, well, I love this bonus episode of Casting Confidential. You guys, I think we learned a lot about we learned a lot about resumes. I think.
Yes, we did.
So, yes, like, follow, rate, and review, and we'll see you next week. That's a wrap on today's episode of Casting Confidential. If you're loving the show, here's what you need to do. Follow us right now on your favorite podcast app so you never miss an episode. And if you're feeling inspired, take a minute to leave us a rating and review. It's the best way to help us grow and keep bringing you these behind the scenes stories. Join the conversation with us on Instagram at Casting Confidential and drop us your thoughts or questions. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep your craft sharp and your audition sharper. See you back here for another episode of Casting Confidential.
One of the greatest podcasts in television and film with Rose Rosen, CSA, and all the friends. Bringing you Casting Confidential. Casting, that's essential. Casting, so eventful. Time to tune in to close friends, chilling with Rose. We call it Casting Confidential. Get a notepad ready, grab a pen and pencil. For magic to jot down, tell a friend too. A wonderful podcast in TV and film, we call it Casting Confidential. Let's go.